Hi friends, Living Fit with Laura on this very, very cold 23-degree Fahrenheit morning. Let's say the prayer with me. This is the day my Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad. I will continue moving forward to those things that lie ahead, putting behind at me those things that lie behind, focusing on the blessings of my life, seeing problems and difficulties as opportunities to become less self-centered, focusing on my Creator, not poor pitiful me. It's 23 degrees. We dress for the weather. So there's no such thing as bad weather, only inappropriate clothing. I'm covering my ears with wool. I've got a wool scarf. I've got a goose down vest, and I've got leggings, and I've got wool socks under my boots. So we continue to be grateful for our lives. When we start to feel depressed, let's take a step back and do inventory on what we're thinking about. Is your life purpose to manipulate others to entertain you or do for you, be the center of attention and poor pitiful me? Is your life purpose to worry about what other people think about you? There is so much more to life, and this world is a big, beautiful place. We are to be grateful for our lives, just as Daisy loves rolling around in the grass. She has a diagnosis of lymphoma, and so shortly before I learned about that, I adopted this little Shih Tzu from a farm who needed to be rehomed, and Pixie has just showered Daisy with affection. Getting back to our mindset, is it our purpose to excuse me, Pixie's leash is tangled. Is it our purpose to worry about what other people are doing for us or thinking about us? Isn't there a bigger purpose in our lives? I used to be very self-centered and always worrying about how people acted, and I felt ignored, I felt dismissed, I felt insignificant. I've matured a lot because I've changed my focus off myself. I've shifted my focus off myself onto my Creator, and instead of asking, what can this person do for me, or this person is acting like this and blah, 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 poor pitiful me, let's get our focus off ourselves and instead ask ourselves, what can I do for another person today that comes across my path to give them joy? I have changed a lot. My life situation is much the same, but I have changed because I have changed my focus. Our circumstances can be much the same, but when we change our focus, our lives change. When we change our focus off ourselves and onto how can I help another person experience joy and hope today, there is such a need for hope in this world. This culture is very hopeless because it centers on self. It centers on poor pitiful me. It centers on what can you do for me, the gospel of me, the gospel of Oprah Winfrey. It centers on material possessions, and believe me, our hearts can be empty and shallow and miserable, even in the midst of wealth, even in the midst of living a very indulged life. It's not about money. Of course, we need money to pay the bills, but our contentment does not come from money or stuff. As Jesus has said, where our treasure is, there our heart will be. So I'd like to encourage my friends to make our treasure our Creator, the sanctity of life, the gift of life. Instead of focusing on poor pitiful me and focusing on how other people act, let's focus on the sanctity of life and make our purpose bringing joy, bringing hope to other people. On this beautiful day, let's make our purpose bigger than ourselves. Let's have the purpose of bringing hope to other people. We all have problems. We all have one problem or more. And we can focus on that and be miserable. I know many people who choose to be miserable. They refuse to look at their blessings. I'd like to encourage my friends to stop doing two things that give us misery. Those two things are complaining and criticizing. When we complain and criticize, we are setting ourselves up for misery. We are creating the misery in our lives. So instead of complaining and criticizing, let's rejoice and be grateful for our lives. Let's stop thinking about ourselves. Let's get it out of the little me bubble and see the sanctity of our lives. We continue moving forward to those things that lie ahead, putting behind us those things that lie behind. Let's everyone get our exercise. It's about 23 degrees. Let's everyone put on our woolens, cover our ears. We cover our hands, feet, and ears. And we just move. Let's not make our lives complicated. Go out for a brisk walk. After this, I'm going to do some weightlifting, and I'm going to do an upper body, lower body weightlifting workout. So everyone have a great day with me, Living Fit with Laura, keeping our mind off ourselves, deciding that there is a greater purpose on this earth than poor pitiful me. Let's focus on bringing joy and hope to other people that we meet. What is hope? Believing in those things yet unseen. Hope is believing in those things yet unseen. Believing in the promises of God. Having optimism and persisting in everything. There's a bigger picture than what we see on this earth, my friends. This earth is but a short visit for us. And when our earthly bodies die, we come face to face with our living and loving God. So let's make our earthly years count. Let's leave a legacy of hope to others. There's so much depression and hopelessness in this world. I have depression. I have genetic depression. That's why I exercise. That's why I talk about keeping our minds off ourselves. That's why I talk about forgiveness. Depression is very common, so let's get over ourselves. Let's quit having a pity party picnic for one. Let's put on our big boy and big girl pants and grow up and realize that we all have a purpose in this world, and this world can be a beautiful life if and only if we stop what? Doing the two things, complaining and criticizing, also cursing and condemning and comparing. And let's acknowledge the sanctity of this glorious day. This is the day my Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in the day. Living Fit with Laura, to get and stay sane, stable, serene, and strong.